Hey y'all, excuse the shades, but it is super sunny out here this evening. I'm trying to get a shot the best I can of, let's see if I turn it this way. It's getting dark a little bit on me. I'm trying to see if I can get a shot. There we go. Can you guys see the lane in back of me? So today I'm going to talk to you, that's driveway. And basically I call it a lane because it's really long. We bought a piece of property. Then the entrance to that piece of property was filled with beautiful oak trees, which made it captivating. And really, no one had been out here or developed or anything like that, this piece of property, or had much to do with it other than the cows and the horses from next door. I say next door, 24 acres away, could graze on this land. But the entrance, so it had not been bothered, and we needed to put down a drive. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the cost of that today. So, we're in Texas. The cost of fuel has went up, and we had built a drive probably 20 years ago, and really didn't get any prices before we bought this land. I know in previous videos I've told you guys we bought this land in like 2 weeks, and I'm not kidding with you. I mean, like, we saw it, we jumped on it right away. It was a very good price. And probably one of the reasons why it was a good price is it didn't have frontage, but for us, it was just so beautiful. And we weren't so worried about the frontage. We didn't, we're not a business. We're looking to get away. We're not looking to be right up on top of people. So anyhow, that being said, it was the minimum per 11 to 12 yards, which is about at 10 tons. Of gravel, which in this case there were different kinds, and I'll kind of go through a little bit of that. So we chose road base because it was $250 per dump truck, and those dump trucks were about 11 yards, 11 to 12 yards in between. And it took a lot of them, so many of them, that we finally had to just say, like, we're breaking the bank here. We've got to figure out something different. We took a little break from doing that because the first third of this driveway was about $3,000, and we really hadn't budgeted that. We just did not know that was going to be the cost. Okay, so take a little quick break, a little deep breath. And then we were just really blessed. Our contractor knew somebody that knew somebody, and they came and brought materials. And the contractor, who was a friend of my husband's, and I say contractor, he's the person who's putting up the metal part of our build, of our barn dominium. He's doing the metal only. Him and I think pretty well just himself. But they came and they brought the rest of the gravel for like half that price. And it was just somebody he knew that had extra materials. So, I was praying all along, God, if there's a step we can miss or something that I'm missing, because my goal here was to get as close to, stay in my budget and get as close to debt free as we could. And God certainly opened that door. And it was a small fee to spread it with a bobcat. Now, let me just say this. The materials we had bought previously also included a, not a bobcat, but a backhoe rental. Was $1,057, I believe, for 7 days. We were not able to keep that the whole time because we had a problem about halfway through this area here, this drive here. It was so wet from the rains before that we just had to stop. So all I could get back on that was a little over $200, $207 refund, because they had to come pick up the backhoe after like 3 days. Now, the way that the backhoe rentals work, and also bobcats, the day is considered so many hours, right? So if you say I want it for a week, it's called 40 hours of drive time. That's all they give you. So you're not going to get to run that thing 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's 40 hours. That's what it means, 1 week. By the same token, if it's 2 days, it's 20 hours. And they really only do it that way, okay? As far as I know, unless you had a friend. And we didn't have a friend. And like I said, my husband's, a gentleman he knew pretty well is going to be doing our metal building build. And he wanted to get back here and he wanted to make his money. And he didn't want his guys to bail on him to go do other projects. So we just really got blessed. So basically, that's 700 feet of gravel drive that is consisting of mostly what they call pit run, and that's like really large rock with kind of like a sandy clay. There was some three-quarter dust, they call it, and that's like about a three-quarter rock in with some really pretty caliche. Some of that got buried in what we'll call the mud hole, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that a little later. But yeah, that's what that consists of. It isn't pretty. It's not finished right now. They're still going to come and run the backhoe back, or rather the Bobcat back over it and finish it. Because if you can see, I don't know if you can see really far out there, there's still quite a bit of gravel left on top because we're just kind of, we're getting toward the end, but in the middle of it, you might say. My husband says that he'll come back later, pretty it up, and I know he will because he's done it before. But yeah, and some of it was heartbreaking because at one point you just think you've wasted your money because you've rented a backhoe and you're not able to use it. But again, good news, we got it pretty well doable. Here's the thing, they had to cut limbs down off that big beautiful tree down there, and I didn't want that to happen, but there was really no choice in it, so they cut some. At one point they're like trying to cut down the whole tree, trying to get cement trucks and everything back here. I'm like, nope. And you know what, it's still soft, so they can't do it. So they're going through our neighbor's drive up into the back of her property, which connects to our property. And I will show you another video of that later. And really, it was so encouraging. We've had the sweetest people come embrace us as neighbors and say, hey, we'll help you. You can use our drive. And how grateful we are for that. So anyway, that's just a little bit about the cost of that. If we break it down again, it's almost 700 feet. It's just basically what you would call it, probably a caliche drive, you might say, pit run drive. It's not pretty, but it's getting there, and it's getting us up here to the property where we can utilize and use it. And at least some of the trucks can come, we didn't have, the cement truck's not going to be able to go through there. And at one point I'm like, I'll take a pair beam house. I don't want it, I don't want to take down my tree and what have you. But, everything kind of works out for the good in the end. So there it is. That's the drive. The total was $1,300 and $3,000. That included the backhoe, small cost for spreading some of the gravel, and it's a lot of gravel. Gosh, I can't even remember. I'll have to probably update you guys in a separate video of exactly how much gravel that is. It's spread pretty thin in most parts now because we just needed to utilize it, So what started off as kind of like pretty and more like a road, I think we started with, is really just a drive. But I'm happy. Getting it done. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.